And good afternoon, everybody. Chris Bartell here from the Cascade Pacific Council. Welcome to today's Wednesday webinar. Just like we've been doing every Wednesday, just about every Wednesday throughout the year, except maybe on a vacation occasionally or some days off and things like that. But by gosh, we're here on Wednesdays to give you the latest news and give you a topic of the week. We're really excited because today we're going to talk about opportunities to serve. This will be fun. We have had some changes in terms of some scouting for food and some opportunities to serve there. So we want to give everybody the latest and greatest on that. But first of all, of course, as we do every Wednesdays, we give sort of the latest news around the council. So let's dive into that, shall we? Here we go. Lots of things going on tomorrow night. Don't forget that we have our Cascade Pacific Council Summit and District Roundtable breakout sessions. So make sure you check your email for that because we'll send out all of the links for that later on tomorrow. And so just make sure you check your spam filters because, we're trying to get through those spam filters so you get all the latest and greatest news and links and all that, all the things that we discuss here on our Wednesday webinars too. And December 4th is Walk and Knock / Scouting for Food. That is still happening. And we actually have a great opportunity where we're going to add on to that in spring. So I'm going to mention that here in just a moment because this is about opportunities to serve, right? Also, December 9th, mark your calendars because we have our next CPC Summit and District Roundtables then as well. And don't forget that if you haven't heard yet, the College of Youth Leadership is happening December and January. We're going to go into some more details on that here in just a second. Let's do that here. Here is a little bit more information on College of Youth Leadership. What it is it's actual training sessions for the youth leaders. It's going to be on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. in December and January, and it is free. This is a really, really fantastic opportunity to just really grow in your leadership and how you lead your units, your scout units. So we've got everything from patrol method and patrol planning to conflict resolution and unit planning, and really how to teach younger scouts. And so this is a really great opportunity, especially if you're 14 and 15 on up, just a really great time to just really soak up and really learn a lot about how you can lead your scout units better. So check that out at cpcbsa.org/CYL, and that will direct you to the right spot. Also, save the dates for Wood Badge. Okay, this is September 13th through 17th, 2022 at Camp Clark. This is a fantastic leadership opportunity for adults. So we're going to actually have more details on this. We're scheduling a webinar specifically on this because the crew who did it this year just had an absolute blast. If you saw any of the pictures on Facebook, oh my gosh, they were hilarious. So a great time of connection and learning to lead and just really dive in. So check that out at cpcbsa.org/woodbadge. And again, we'll have more information on that on an upcoming webinar. Also mark your calendars or check out more information on World Jamboree. That's going to be June 1st through 12th, 2023 in Korea. So go to 2023wsjkorea.org and for more information on that. And also National Jamboree. There is a deadline coming up here for this. So National Jambo is going to be July 19th through 28th, 2023. And it's at the Summit Bechtel Reserve. If you've never seen that location, that spot, oh my gosh, do a Google search for it. It is incredible. Go to jamboree.scouting.org for that or cpcbsa.org/jamboree. You'll see some videos and things like that there too about Summit Bechtel. And also note this, adults who want to attend, this Friday, your applications are due. We started from scratch and had everybody reapply. So it's a smaller contingent this time around. So there are only 24 seats for that, 24 opportunities for adults to become leaders for Jambo. And it is an incredible, incredible experience. Both of my boys went, one to World Jambo, one to National Jamboree, had an incredible time. And I know the adults did too. It's fun, it's hilarious, and just a wonderful opportunity to see the scouts in action. Just really incredible. So check that out. Also, wanted to mention that weekend horse rides, here's an update on that. Just want to give everybody a heads up. We've had a lot of people who are super, super interested in this. You go to cpcbsa.org/horses for this information. And what it is if you haven't seen our horses and all the horses we actually have the largest herd of horses of any council, of more than 250 councils in the Boy Scouts of America. We are really, really blessed to have that. It's fantastic. Our wranglers and our whole team. It's just incredible on how they care for these horses, and you, scouts and families and parents, get to learn from them. It's fantastic. So it's at Butte Creek Scout Ranch. This is during the quote unquote off season. We don't have summer camp. So all the horses are there. And you can go as a family, you can go as a unit, and it's for kids, youth, scouts, ages 10 and up. So that's really the key update. We just want to make sure everybody knows this, that it's for youth ages 10 and up. And you can do full day or half day rides. And the half day is $60. The full day is $120. Lunch is not provided. So just note that we're keeping this, COVID safe, COVID friendly, all of that kind of thing. But make sure you also arrive a little bit early, 10 minutes early to the barn, and wear really sturdy pants and closed-toed shoes. Super, super important. And you'll have a blast. I guarantee it. It is. And it's just such a great, even if you're going for a half day, go plan to spend the whole day out there and wander around camp. You can see the new Adirondacks, the new mini Dacks that we have up after the wildfires burned them all up. We've rebuilt them, the team and volunteers. And oh my gosh, it was incredible. It just went gangbusters to get all those ready for summer camp this year. So it is really fun. Walk around, check out where all the new camps are. If you haven't been to Butte Creek, it's such a great opportunity to just check out where all the campsites are. We've actually moved them down the hill a bit, so it's less of a hike up the hill with all your gear, and just a really great opportunity to spend the day out at Butte Creek. So check that out. Also, some new great opportunities for Cub Scouts, speaking of kind of younger scouts, is that we have reservations are now open for summer camp for Cub Scouts and of course Scouts BSA. That's been open for a while. We have a really great opportunity for Webelos who can go to Camp Baldwin this year. So check that out. It's actually at cpcbsa.org, and we have a little bit more information on there. We're still working out the exact details of the program, but they'll get to do aquatics and play with the horses, and it's going to be great. It's just an awesome opportunity for Webelos to sort of dive in and ramp up as they head into Scouts BSA. Really a great opportunity there. And we're going to have some other additional weekend camping opportunities as well for families, of course. And so this has actually given us an opportunity this year to send all the Cub Scouts to Butte Creek Scout Ranch. And because we really want all the Cubs to get to know each other and spend time together and have a lot of scouts there at one camp. So that's what we're doing there. And then summer camp for families is really at Camp Clark. So check that out. It's going to be really, really fantastic. We had just rave reviews from families who just got a great time to connect and spend time at the beach and all of that. So really great opportunity there. All right, a couple other things just quickly is I've been chatting about this for a little while, and to a lot of units, still trying to get enough units to sign up for our incredible deal for building unit websites. These are super easy using the Wix platform. It's a page builder platform. It's literally like drag and drop. We use it for our scout troop, and it is easy peasy. And we get a deal for half off. So it's kind of a sweet deal. And if you don't have a custom domain, if you've been using some of those older platforms where you don't actually get a custom domain, this is a really good opportunity. So like if you're the Troop 100 in Cascadia District, you can have, Troop 100 scoutsbsa.org, for instance. I'm not sure if that's available, but that's the kind of thing you would have instead of, kind of a goofy website address. So it makes it easy for scout units to share their story, share their pictures, all that kind of good stuff. Really just a great opportunity there. So you can check that out at cpcbsa.org/marketing. There are some other tools there you should check out too. We've got some actually ways where you can allow the council to actually post to your Facebook group, to your public Facebook pages or your Instagram pages. The nice part about that is we can help keep those fresh and help tell the story about scouting, and you don't have to worry about posting every week, even though we'd love to have everybody posting every week. But I know how much work that can be. I'm a Scoutmaster too, so I know how much work that can be. So we want the council to help us out with that when we're talking about scout units. So check all that out at cpcbsa.org/marketing. Okay, enough of the latest and greatest news. We're going to go through some really interesting opportunities to serve. This is kind of, this is really the season of Thanksgiving and the holidays and opportunities to serve. You may know a lot about a lot of these opportunities, but there's some new ones too that I think are going to be really interesting, especially if you're new to scouting. You may not have heard of some of these things. So let's go through a few of these. What we have here is, let's go down here, is I actually have these in order of what's happening really soon. So for instance, the Order of the Arrow, which is our National Honor Society, so it's for the older scouts to do service projects and learn more about leadership and all of that's really fantastic. if you have a scout of really any age, it's really a great opportunity to get to know what Order the Arrow is all about. So you can do this. Actually, we have a dismantling project at Camp Lewis from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. this Saturday. So bring your tools, dress warm, lunch is provided, but an opportunity actually to go to Camp Lewis if you've never been. And we're just working on some of the projects around there, cleaning it up and whatnot. And that's actually being managed by Order the Arrow. Another one that they're doing is on November 20th is a planting project at Biltmore Woods. It's near the St. John's Bridge there at 9:30 a.m. So you can actually find this out at cpcbsa.org and go to the calendar. We have information there on the calendar for all of these. So make sure you check that out. And we'll also have links to these too in email. So for those of you in the Cascade Pacific Council, you get our weekly Compass Points email newsletter, and we have links to all of this in there as well. So make sure you check your spam filters, like I keep saying, and look for the links there. But great opportunity just to serve. And the Order of the Arrow actually does service projects like this throughout the year. They also do a really fantastic larger service project in summer. So if you haven't seen that, we'll have more information on that later. But it's a really great opportunity. Just keep your eyes open for what the OA is doing. They're really great opportunities to serve, especially as you get older and you're growing in scouting. It's really, really great. Of course, this time of year, we talk a lot about local food banks and pantries and helping out. Now, we've been doing scouting for food and walk and knock. So walk and knock is, for those of you who don't know, in Oregon, I didn't know this a while back, that in Washington, they call it walk and knock instead of scouting for food. And it's because up there, they actually have, or in Washington, they actually have a whole bunch of organizations working together to collect food for the food banks. Now, they're doing it a little bit different this year. They're having donations to drop, and it's actually really a drive and drop. So it's a little bit different this year. So go to walkandknock.org to check out the latest on that, because it is a little bit different. So for you units and scout leaders, parents in Washington area, check that out. Really, and if you've never done it, just a great opportunity to serve. And you're serving alongside of a whole cadre of different organizations group. They've got the Rotarians are up there, the Girl Scouts are up there. Really a great opportunity there. Now, scouting for food, you can still do that. For scout units have been doing this for a long time. We've always done it in the first Saturday of December. And what we're doing actually this year is, yes, you can still do scouting for food, because, for instance, our unit, our troop actually works with a local church, and they rely on us for that. So we're going to be doing it as well. But what we're asking everybody to do, this is sort of the big news of the day, because I think it's such a great opportunity. We actually called around, I think it was 28 pantries around the area just to talk about scouting for food, because we had an idea of what if we did this in spring as well, or instead. And so we had a nice conversation with these different drop-off sites and food banks. And they said what they needed is they need help in spring, because a lot of people are donating. You see all the food boxes and things around donation places, all of that during this time of year. But what happens is they run out. And so in March is when we actually want to launch spring scouting for food. So we want to be able to do that. No other council, to our knowledge, is doing this, but we're going to launch that. So just mark your calendars for that. For March 5th, we're going to do another version of scouting for food in spring to replenish all of those food banks around the area. So again, mark your calendars, March 5th, 2022, to help replenish all those deleted supplies to all the food banks. We'd love to have more scout units go out there and help out with that, and it'd be just fantastic. So check that out. Also, Stop Oregon Litter and Vandalism used to be what this called. Now they just call themselves Solve Oregon. So for those of you in Oregon or nearby, there's a lot of great opportunities. You can go to solveoregon.org. They have on the 13th, that's this coming weekend, there's a tree planting at Whitaker Ponds. They have multiple cleanup opportunities. They actually partner with a whole bunch of organizations to do cleanups. And these are sometimes just a few hours, kind of a half day, sometimes a full day, but all over the map. So it's really a great opportunity to serve. So if you haven't done this before, and any age typically can do these things, you've heard of the beach cleanups and things like that a lot, but there are tons of other opportunities, as you can see here. So November 17th, they've got a downtown Portland cleanup on December 4th. For those of you who are not doing scouting for food, that's when you can do the seaside beach cleanup. And also December 18th, a forest park ivy removal. I was just up there hiking up there this weekend and was like, oh boy, I actually looked around and literally said to my fellow hikers, I said, boy, I think it's about time to cut down some of this ivy because it seems to be crawling up the trees. And ironically, December 18th is when they're having a forest park ivy removal. So check it out at solveoregon.org and for more opportunities there. And again, one thing, of course, about all of these opportunities is for a lot of opportunities in scouting, not only to practice the outdoor code and really caring for the environment and things like that, but also it helps with requirements. So check that out in your scout books, because a lot of times we actually are required to do a few hours of service here and there. So this is great. Not just, of course, with Eagle Scout projects too. We also do those too, but just opportunities to serve. It's really, really fantastic. So let's see what's next year. We've got, oh yeah, this is great. So just so you know, there are of course, all these holiday opportunities that you know about at food banks and whatnot. You can actually volunteer and serve at that, but also you can check with your local city parks, whether you're in Portland Parks and Rec or you're in Tualatin Valley or any of those. There are a lot of places. Our troop, for instance, will be working with with Wilshire Park to actually do some cleanup over there in the next couple of weeks as well. And during Scouting for Food Day, we're going to do that, and Scouting for Food. And so it's going to be great. But it's a great opportunity just to connect. And don't forget that when you do these things too, if you can bring along one of our banners, if you go to cpcbsa.org/marketing, you'll see a link there to order signs and banners. And we have these really great, I wish I could put one up behind me. I should figure that out. There's really great, I should have, that would have been a smart move, marketing guy. So there's a really wonderful banner. It's a large 3 foot by 6 foot banner that talks about now serving your community. So one of the objectives here just from a marketing perspective and just from an awareness perspective is to get more awareness that we are out here. We are here to serve. So they're really great. You can order one for your scout troop or your cub pack, and you just hang it up. They're grommeted and everything. Hang it up between 2 trees, practice those knots, and hang it up between some trees and do that. It's really, really great. Of course, Salvation Army this is fun too if you've never done this. And this is fun for the whole family. It's easy. Any kiddo can do it. It's really fun just to do the Salvation Army bell ringing. They're always looking for more people to do bell ringing. And it really happens Thanksgiving through Christmas. And so they have opportunities throughout the season to do that. And it's really fun. And you could sing Christmas carols, you could get friends together, whatever you like. It's a hoot, really it is. Okay, another thing I wanted to mention, because we actually we talked to some folks recently from the National Park Service about different kinds of programs. And this was piqued by our unit because we actually spent some time in the national park this year after summer camp. And there are multiple opportunities which is really, really interesting. One is you can actually just simply contact your nearby national park, whichever national park, or even a one in Rainier National Park, for instance. That may not be necessarily super close to you, but it's beautiful and there are opportunities to serve there. So, or Crater Lake, for instance, you can actually call them and see, hey, we're a scout unit and we'd love to serve. So is there anything we could do to help out? They also have a Scout Ranger program, which is a combination of an educational program and a volunteer service project that is combined. And it's great. You could actually get this patch and whatnot. And also they have an Eagle Scout certificate of recognition. You can find all this out at nps.gov. There's some really great information there. But what we found is the easiest thing to do is actually contact the national park that you maybe your troop or your scout unit is going to visit or doing some backpacking there or whatnot, because there are some interesting opportunities as well when it comes to what they call citizen scientists. You can actually do a citizen science project. This is actually our troop here. We actually went to Glacier National Park this year and found out that you can see over here on the right, there's a little mountain goat. Our job was to actually count mountain goats and other animals that were in the area. So we would basically hike or backpack into these locations that they set out in an entire grid system. And we would actually sit there and search for mountain goats. And so they gave us all this gear that you see here. They totally hooked us up with everything we needed. We had walkie-talkies, all of that. And I tell you what, this was an incredible experience. And then we would map everything that we saw. We were focused on the mountain goats because they're doing a big study on it throughout the entire park. And also, we would upload this information into the park, but we also needed to check any other animal, wildlife that we might see as well, because they wanted us to track that too. But it was really a part of a larger project about mountain goats. So what's interesting about this too, and doing these opportunities is, for instance, I don't think this is always the case, but we were shocked that we basically said, we'd love to do this project. They then connected us with the right people that are boots on the ground there, who actually set us up with an entire program for the entire week that we were in Glacier. So they literally gave us the mapping areas, the locations they wanted us to be at, where they wanted us, when they wanted us. And so we were spread out all over the park, and we actually got into the park for free. Don't tell anybody that, but that was kind of the deal, was we actually, all of the services were complimentary. So our campsites and things like that, our entry fees and things, we really had, it felt like you were really a part of the actual ranger team. It was really, really great. And we just had just an incredible time, and really got to track everything. So yeah, as a matter of fact, even we saw a grizzly bear and things like that, a moose and whatnot. And it may not have been during our service time, but we wanted to monitor that and track that for them as well, because they just want to know what's happening around the park, whether it was for this actual citizen science project or not. So highly recommend checking that out. If you are planning a high adventure trip at a national park for scout troops, especially, call that national park and say, hey, are there any citizen science projects? We'd love to get involved at this time of the year. And it was fantastic. As a matter of fact, we took the overnight train from here in Portland straight into Glacier, landed in Glacier. We actually had cars that drove as well, because we actually needed to disperse along the park in a variety of locations. So we actually had to take some cars as well, but for the most part, most of the scouts and adults got to take the train, which was really, really great, and land us right there. So just want to make you aware of that. That is at nps.gov. Lots of great opportunities there, and just really, really interesting as well. All right. If you do those kinds of things, or whatever you're doing from a service project perspective, I would love to have your pictures so that we could share them with the world and share the story with the world. So if you happen to be watching this right now, you can scan this right here, this QR code, and you'll be able to text me your picture. So there's also my cell phone number there, 971-337-5922. You can text your videos, photos, all of that. Let me know a little bit about what you're doing, because then we can share it. This is a fantastic way to share with people the service we're doing around the community, the adventures we go on, of course, to serve. So check that out. Make sure you text those graphics, those images, those photos over to me, and let me know a little bit about it, and so we can share that story with the world. I'd love to share on Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So make sure you do that. All right. One last reminder. I just wanted to remind a couple folks as well that, and we already talked about this, that we're all done with talking about service projects and opportunities, and let us know what other opportunities there are that you're doing around the area too, so we could share with everybody. That would be fantastic. And I know, for instance, some folks are actually doing Veterans Day parades, some are closed down, things like that. So by golly, send those pictures. So we'd love to see them. We'd love to be able to share those. If you're doing flag ceremony at a Veterans Day event or parade tomorrow, let us know. That would be fantastic. Okay, but don't forget, this is really important. We just want to let folks remember to check out the College of Youth Leadership. This is at cpcbsa.org at CYL. Just a reminder to get signed up. There are some limited seats in some of these classes and things like that. So it is virtual, but there's an opportunity here to really step up your game in terms of leadership opportunities for youth. So check that out at cpcbsa.org/CYL, and you can check out a little bit more about the classes, the courses, and things like that. This is really for older youth, especially if you're 14, 15 on up. You're going to learn a ton. It's a really, really great opportunity. And next up, we're going to be pulling in a whole bunch of University of Scouting instructors. If you missed it, we had more than 300 leaders, parents attend University of Scouting last weekend, and they were taking more than 70 courses. It was incredible. The instructors are, for the most part, 99% of them were volunteers and who just know the thing that they're passionate about in scouting. And it was everything from knot tying and backpacking and learning about empathy and communication and things like that. We're actually going to be on our Wednesday webinars featuring a whole variety of those instructors. So In case you missed out, don't worry, you'll get to dive back in. We'll take a deep dive with a lot of these classes and courses that were taught because it was fantastic. And hopefully it inspires you as an adult leader, as a parent, and just to get to learn more. If, for instance, if you've never backpacked before, we had classes on how to go backpacking, how to pack a backpack. And it was fantastic because these are things that we get to do as adults. We get to share with our kids and do in scouting. So it's really, really great. So I'm scheduling these as we speak. So keep an eye out for those. There's going to be some great stuff. And of course, just like with all of these, we record them. We have them on our website as well. We have audio and video versions of these. So you can just sort of listen. And I always tell people, if you just want the latest and greatest news of what's happening, some of the deadlines and things like that, you can just listen to the first few minutes of any of our webinars and you'll get the latest and greatest there. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. Really excited to share these service opportunities. If you're doing service opportunities, let us know. We just want to be able to share that with the world. So thanks so much. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your week. Have a don't forget Veterans Day. We just really want to honor and celebrate our veterans. And if you have a parade in the area, by golly, wear your scout uniform and go, or get involved. They always love it when scouts are there doing the flag ceremony and things like that. So connect with folks for Veterans Day parades in your area. Really appreciate your time. Thanks so much, and have yourself a fantastic rest of your week.